I kind of, thinking that, okay, the holidays are coming around the corner. What happens during the holidays? A lot of people mostly gain weight and get out of shape, and they think, oh, it's okay. January 1st, I'll put it all back together and I'll get myself back on track. Well, as you know, that's not that easy to do. It's if you let yourself get out of more shape and then try to jump right back in, it's never as easy. So my whole thought process with myself and my clients was, let's get in the best shape we possibly can right before the holidays. That way we're less likely to jump into that negative, binge eating and all that stuff during the holiday season. So what I did is I created just a 4-week program. It was basically 4 weeks before Thanksgiving, so we're still on it. And it's just basically carb cycling. So as simple as it is, it's not about like calorie counting, all that certain specific stuff, because really that's not realistic in a daily life. And so basically what we just did is we're doing carb cycling. So we do 1 day of no carbs. The next day is like a medium carb. And then the following day is no carbs, and we cycle back and forth, except for on Sundays where we have a high carb. That's kind of the day for people just to relax, have what they want, some pancakes in the morning, some fun stuff. And that way your mind kind of can settle and be at ease. You're not restricting yourself from the things you really enjoy. And still maintain the good, solid progress for weight loss, and specifically fat loss. So it's all about two things. It's about what you eat and when you eat it. So a lot of people have battled back and forth between, okay, it's just about how many calories I take into my body. So if I'm, say 180 pounds, then I should probably take in about 2,000 calories a day. It doesn't matter when I take those calories in, I just need to get that. Well, that's completely wrong. It's all about when you eat it and what you eat, right? So you have a thing called metabolism in your body, and metabolism helps basically your engine for burning calories, right? And so believe it or not, your engine is based off of your muscle. So your muscle is the one that actually burns the calories. So if you're suppressing your muscle, then your metabolism is going to drop. And what I mean by that is like people that, they don't eat much of a breakfast and they go, oh, well, I'm not hungry at breakfast time. Well, it's most likely because they're eating huge meals the night before and just overindulging and just having too much. And therefore their appetite is going to be shot in the morning still. And so they barely have a breakfast. They kind of dabble at lunch, and then they go home and they have a big old dinner. And say maybe it's healthy things. Maybe it's brown rice. Maybe it's salmon and healthy items. But it's at that point, I guarantee, because they haven't eaten all day long, basically, that they're going to overindulge. And what happens is your body digests that food and it stores it to what's called glycogen. Now, naturally, your body uses that glycogen to help burn off for exercise or just daily routine walking throughout the day. And if you eat too much food at once, your body can't get through all that glycogen. And in 72 hours, if you haven't gotten through that, if you have a surplus, then it turns to fat. So basically, that's the great story of American, the dream of gaining weight. Everybody seems to do that. And that's one of the big things I work with people on is consistent eating. So very simply, and I know Leah's going to probably send this diet over to you. It's very simple. There's a timing scale of when you eat. So every meal, now there's breakfast, lunch, and a dinner, and there's a little snack in between, okay, high protein snack. Now it's more high fats and proteins. And remember, fats have been kind of categorized as such a negative thing, but if you eat the right fats, they're so good for you. It's going to help your brain function. It's going to help your metabolism. It's going to help a little bit of everything. And then, of course, protein is going to help with muscle restoring the muscle fibers and helping you recover from your workouts. The carbs are the one that we get addicted to. And I think everybody on this call can agree that it's pretty easy to get addicted to carbs, right? The breads and the pastas and all the sugary fun things, which is Christmas all in a basket there. But so the whole idea of this diet is to restrict yourself from those carbohydrates, to basically drop that addiction, and to really, you're going to see a huge change. I've personally been doing it, so I'm basically a couple of days away from 4 weeks, and I personally lost 15 pounds. 5 pounds of that water, and the other 10 pounds is about body fat. And I honestly didn't realize I had that much on me, so I was kind of blown away. I've had about 34 different people doing this diet this last 4 weeks, and the biggest change, and of course, he was a bigger guy, but he lost 30 pounds in 4 weeks. How in the world does he do that? Well, it's all about, too, based off, how much you have to lose. So simple it is. You have breakfast, lunch, and a dinner. You have a little high protein snack in between. So let's start off. You go 7 o'clock in the morning, you're going to have your breakfast. And the first meal, it's going to be a medium carb day, is on a Monday. And you have, 2 to 3 eggs, depending on how many you want. And then you have, and those are whole eggs with the yolk. And then you're going to have a little bit of oatmeal, and that's it. Simple as that. And Lee's going to send this over to you. It's all measured out and everything that you need. So she'll take care of you. But then, and then 2.5 hours later, you're going to have a little snack. And that snack can be the Terra protein shake that they offer, the trim shake, which I really love. I use it every time. And that's just a simple little snack. I use almond milk or water. I don't use too much dairy. Just personally, it doesn't agree with me that well. So I just use almond milk or water. And honestly, almond milk has higher calcium content and good protein as well. So it's kind of a better way to go. And then you have your protein shake, the powder that you put in, you shake it up, you drink it, and that's it. That's all you need. So it doesn't take a lot of time out of your day to do. And then the third item is lunch. It's really up to you what you want to do. It's any type of lean protein. So chicken, turkey breast, a salmon, a fish, anything that's lean protein. Then you're going to have a little bit of brown rice, wild rice, or any type of a whole grain carbohydrate or a complex carbohydrate. And then I usually throw some veggies in there for the vitamin aspect of it. So that's lunch. And then again, for your middle of the day kind of snack, you're going to do something that's a high protein. And basically that's all you really need. I'll do like a handful of almonds sometimes, and that's plenty. And then you have dinner time. And dinner time is where you want to basically get rid of the carbohydrates. You want to just do veggies and a lean protein of any kind. And then on the no carb day, it's basically all that, but you're increasing your fats. So breakfast would be like egg whites instead of regular eggs. So getting rid of the yolk, which they have the fat in. And then you have the avocado. And then for your snack, same kind of thing as the day before. And then lunchtime is going to be like any type of lean protein and just veggies, no rice or anything like that, and so on and so forth. And she'll give you the full blueprint. I don't need to go through the whole thing with you. You kind of understand what's going on. But then that lucky day on Sunday is where you get to kind of relax and have those high carbs and really indulge and give the brain the satisfaction. But no, it totally works, guys. There's no secret recipe to it. It's all about just staying consistent with it and doing it. The first week is definitely the hardest, but right when you get past that, then you're good to go. That's really all it is. It's pretty simple. And then of course, exercise is just going to heighten those results. I know a question we had last time on the call. I don't know if he's on here this time. I think it was Ando actually. He asked the question of, hey, I have a friend that wants to lose weight. What should he start with first? Should it be exercise to get going or nutrition? And I thought about that a lot in the last month. And honestly, nutrition is the best way to go because honestly, it's the easiest, less physical way to kind of jump into something. So I would definitely recommend, Ando, if you have that friend still, send them this nutrition plan that we're about to send out. And again, guys, this is just a generic nutrition plan. Talk with your doctor if you have anything diuretic, like you have any diet like restrictions or anything. Talk to your doctor first, or if you need to. But if you're not allergic to anything, just go for it. And that's pretty much it. It's just about staying consistent and just making that push forward, right?
Perfect. Thanks so much for sharing. Does anyone I have a couple questions I'm going to ask, but does anyone have any questions about the nutrition plan specifically?
Yeah, I have a couple of questions.
Yeah, go for it.
Do you have any suggestions for people who choose not to eat meat, or I rarely eat eggs as well?
Yeah, no problem. There's a ton of stuff out there. So I'm not too in depth about that because I personally don't do that stuff. But I know there's, like last night I was at a friend's house and he had this stuff called vegan meat or something like that. And he was mixing it in with something else. And he was like, check out the protein content. And it was derived from peas. And I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive. They had like 10 grams of protein per serving, very low carb, very low sugar. So there's stuff out there. I personally don't know a ton of it, but I mean, let's see, egg-wise, what a good replacement. You want to kind of stay away from a ton of soy products, just in my opinion, because it'll increase your estrogen levels. And for women specifically, if you have a higher increase in estrogen, it's a higher risk of breast cancer. So you want to be careful with that increase of soy products. And that's what researchers have been saying about that stuff. So I would do some research. There's tons of stuff out there. I personally don't know what it is. It's all about just keeping it low carbs. So if you have a protein item that has just equal amount of carbs, say it's 10 grams of protein per serving, but it also has 10 grams of carbs per serving, that's too much carbs to protein ratio, and you want to take it easy on that. And but I know there's tons of stuff out there, so I would do your research.
Yeah, I've actually seen some of the pea protein stuff that you were talking about, but that also brings me to my next question about carbs. I've watched a lot of like vegan YouTubers, and they love carbs. Like they think that you should eat like tons of carbs and stuff. What do you think about that?
Well, that's because that's all they're able to eat.
Okay.
No, I know it's tough. I have a guy that I work with, and my little sister is actually vegan, so I talk to her about this all the time. Carbs they're definitely a something you can use or food, right? So there's only three things you can possibly eat. It's a protein, a carb, or a fat, right? Those are whatever you put in your mouth, it's one of those three, unless it's water. So when it comes to a mass amount of carbs, your body goes through a different digestion process. So carbs, remember, they convert to sugar the quickest, right? They convert, and depending on the type of carb, there's two different types. There's simple carb, and then there's complex. Complex are the ones that are like digest slow. That's like brown rice or sweet potato, quinoa, the stuff that are whole grain. That's the slow digesting carb, and it won't spike your blood sugar up so quick. It'll gradually kind of drop up and then come back down, as opposed to like a simple carb, like a high refined sugar, like if you had an energy drink or something like that. It's going to spike your sugar up and then just drop you back down, crashing your metabolism. So you want to take it easy on that. And then but I know as a vegan guys out there, girls, there is other options. I've seen this girl on her account, I don't know what she's thinking. She's eating like 10 bananas a day, but honestly, a banana is considered a simple carb. And yeah, you'll get nutrients from it, but it's just way too much sugar for one person to digest throughout a day. So you want to just be very conscious of it. Personally, I think if you're going with something long-term, you want to have carbs, but that's why I kind of like this diet that I shot out. It's carb cycling. You get it, but you don't overindulge in it.
I love that. Jade, I know what you're talking about for sure. And I have firsthand experience doing that, like fully raw, high carbs. And as do a couple of my friends, and what they don't tell you is there are a lot of side effects to that, like skin rashes and all those things. So maybe there are a select few people in the world that can do that. But I kind of think it's more marketing and it's more branding and what they do than actual nutrition that can be used long term.
And then remember this too, Jade. Everybody's different, right? What might work for that person on YouTube, they may have. So there's 3 different body types too. I don't know if you guys knew this, but there's the thing called ectomorph. Ectomorph is the type of person that doesn't really gain weight that easy. They're kind of the skinny one. The kids that they can eat whatever they want and they don't seem to gain a pound. Then there's an endomorph, which is the bigger person that they gain weight so easy and they hold on to it. It's like, oh, it's so hard to get rid of. So those people that are endomorphs really need to be careful with a lot of carbs because you'll blow up like a balloon if you just have carbs. Yeah. And then the third type is the mesomorph, which is like you're naturally pretty lean. You got a good amount of muscle. And I wish everybody was mesomorph, but only the select few, I guess, are. But so anyway, you gotta be careful with what you read and what you hear because you'll see this person on YouTube and they're ripped and shredded and they look great. And you might not know, but they might be just an ectomorph that, put on weight and they're eating carbs and they're fine with it. Their body type's fine. But right when you start doing it, you're like, wait a minute, So the program that I'm going to send you guys, and it's completely free. We're just giving it out. I just want people to, just lose some weight and get motivated for the holiday season. It's just kind of a meet you in the middle kind of a deal.
And
so,
yeah. You guys see the chat, someone says every body is different. No one size fits all.
Absolutely.
That's the truth. I love it. So when I first heard about this nutrition plan from Wes, my first question was, is this something that you do year round, 365 days a year, or is it something that would be like a month-long challenge? I don't know if anyone else has that question, but.
Yeah, so the reason I put 4 weeks is specifically just because it was 4 weeks up until Thanksgiving. And I said, you know what, it's for my clients, short-term goals are always great to have because you think long-term, it's like, wow, that's a long time. But if you're thinking 4 weeks, like, oh, I got this. And the other thing behind that was 30 days it takes to form a habit. So 30 days into it, I can tell you I'm 2 days away from it. I'm like, I feel so good doing this that I don't really feel like stopping, honestly. It's very maintainable. I have more energy than I did before. Sounds funny because you're not having as many carbs. You wouldn't think so. But I have more energy than I did before, and I'm honestly just ready to keep it going. Obviously, Thanksgiving, I'm going to go big, and Christmas, I'm going to go big. But, you got to have those times to relax as well. But I think consistently, it's very easy to keep something like this going year-round.
Perfect. I love it. Does anybody have any questions about the nutrition plan before I move on? Okay, perfect. Okay, so my session is going to be pretty short and sweet, but extremely important as we go into the holiday season. I'm going to be talking about doTERRA Terrazyme. Who's seen this before? I don't know. I feel like it's doTERRA's most underrated product because nobody wants to talk. We want to put oils on people. We want to, that's fun, but we don't really want to talk about like these boring little pills. But it is estimated that we would have to eat, 60 to 70% of our food from raw sources to be able to get enough enzymatic action from our food alone to not need a supplement with enzymes. So if you're that YouTuber that's eating 100% raw, then you're good, right? But for most of us, sustainable long-term diet, we're eating a lot of cooked foods that are cooked beyond the point that any of the enzymes are going to be active still. And then any food that's processed is probably not going to have any enzymatic action or enzymatic presence. So we're left with a lot of different and potential side effects, those gastrointestinal issues, maybe that discomfort, and a whole host of issues that can be caused by that. So we do need to realize that enzymatic supplementation is important for that gastrointestinal tract. And it's really important to add that that's not only where we're absorbing our nutrients, but it's also a huge part of our immune system. So as we come to the colder months where we're often, a lot of us are getting sick more easily, we really want to keep our immune systems thriving. And so we're going to address this when we're talking about doTERRA Terrazyme. We're going to be talking about it from not only that digestive health aspect, but also that immune system aspect as well. So the reason we're talking about this right now is because we have Thanksgiving coming up. And that's where a lot of us will often need a lot of food. So we might need a little bit of extra support. And we're also probably eating foods that we wouldn't normally, or foods that are heavily processed. So, maybe even some foods that we shouldn't, I don't know, maybe I'm the only one. But we should be taking Terrazyme daily, really. But making sure that you take it as we go through the holidays is very important. So if you're having larger meals, it really does. Terrazyme is really going to assist the body in tremendous ways. And I'll give you some dosing guidelines in a couple minutes. But Terrazyme is our digestive enzyme complex, and it's designed to support healthy digestion and healthy metabolism. So it's very safe and gentle and can be used on anyone. I mean, as kids, there's no age limit. It's extremely safe and gentle. Anyone in the family can use it as long as they're old enough to take a capsule. And if they're not old enough to swallow a capsule, you can actually just break it open and put it into their food. So like applesauce, we put ours, we make a smoothie for my son Owen every evening because he doesn't eat real food. And so he has a lot of those gastrointestinal issues. And so you're laughing like how it's hard to feed toddlers. And so we break up this Terrazyme, and it really helps him in tremendous ways. So it's also really important to note that these digestive enzymes also are going to aid our body in the production of metabolic enzymes. So metabolic enzymes are really used in almost every key process in our body. So having those healthy metabolic enzyme levels are going to help support our overall health, especially the healthy metabolism. So you'll have the digestive enzyme function, which is breaking down our food. You're going to have the metabolic enzyme function, which is going to support your overall health. And overall health will be augmented by doing this. So I'm going to break it down here super quick. This is all on the back of the bottle. There's also a really cool PDF that doTERRA puts out. But I'm going to go through the enzymes that are in Terrazyme very quickly. So first you have the protease, which it's interesting. As I'm sharing some of these with you, you'll kind of notice that the benefit that you're receiving can be kind of related to the name of the enzyme. So protease helps to break down protein into those peptides and amino acids. So the papain is the second enzyme, and that's also going to help break down protein as well. The amylase enzyme is going to break down those carbohydrates, those starches, and those sugars. So that pumpkin pie and that, what else are you guys eating? The lipase is going to break down fats. Maybe that kind of sounds like lipids maybe. And that's going to break that so that they're more able to be absorbed into the intestine. What I like about Terrazyme and taking it with meals is the fact that you're going to absorb your nutrients better. So the lactase, that's actually going to help, that's going to break down the lactose that's found in milk sugars. So especially for those people who have those, like Wes, I know you're saying like you have those issues with milk. I think most of us do, or we will develop it at some point. And the lactase enzyme is going to help break down those milk sugars that can cause those issues. We have the alpha galactose enzyme, and that's going to break down sugars found in legumes and cruciferous vegetables that may cause gas or bloating. So if you struggle with that, you probably need a little bit of enzymatic support. So we have cellulase, which is going to break down fiber and help to digest those vegetables and fruits that we're taking in, right? Because we're eating lots of fruits and vegetables too. And then we have sucrase, that's going to really break down the sucrose and the fructose, and that's going to help with energy. Then we have the next enzyme is actually a blend, and doTERRA actually added this about 2 years ago as the gluten intolerances are getting a lot more noticed and profound in the population. And that's actually a group of enzymes, a blend, and that's just going to help to break down the gluten. And the last enzyme, glucoamylase, is going to break down starch. So with all of that, super exciting. I think everyone would benefit from having this in their diet. There's also a tummy tamer blend in here as well that is going to help ease any stomach discomfort. And that's also in the Lifelong Vitality Pack, if you've heard of that before. So as far as dosing goes, it's super easy. If you're having a heavy meal, so if you're having that Thanksgiving dinner, you're going to want to take 3. That's going to be probably right on to give you the support that you need. And if you're having a smaller meal, you're going to be good. 1 is going to be more than enough. So even if I'm taking in a salad, I'm still going to take 1 because I still want that support with those fibers and things like that. So I think, let me see. Okay, I think that's it. Do you guys have any questions about the doTERRA Terrazyme before I close this out today?
I do have something I want to say. I think when I started, sorry, I'm a mess. I just got out of CrossFit, so.
I just got a shower, so we're okay.
I have to say that when I started to take the Terrazymes more on a regular basis, I don't know if this is just coincidence or what, but I noticed that I was not as hungry. Like it sustained my food, like it lasted longer, and I wasn't as hungry as quickly. And I also noticed that I guess I'm absorbing more of the nutrients by doing that, and therefore I wasn't eating, more junk food in between, or I wasn't craving it or something like that. And then I also have heard that it helps with like recovery. So I'm all about recovery with doTERRA when I use these products, because I have to make sure I'm back fit for the next CrossFit session. Like I have to be able to move my body and not be sore. So Terrazymes and things like that, I actually use it for more of a recovery base for me. I don't know. I just find it that I love the Terrazymes. I was underutilizing it, and now I'm definitely making it a habit. And I'm kind of excited about the meal plan, because now I'm more trying to figure out, okay, I don't know how much or what I'm supposed to be eating, on a daily basis, and we're trying to make it more of a habit. So I just want to say that about the Terrazymes, that I love the Terrazymes. I think it's definitely improved my performance at the gym with some other products that I could just talk about all day. But otherwise, I do want to say, for me personally, I do feel like that's what's happening with the Terrazymes.
Thank you so much for sharing. Yes, you're nourished, so you're not going to be having those unnecessary cravings. It's such a beautiful process. And I love that you brought up recovery, and that really just goes deeper into how it supports our metabolic enzyme production, because like I was trying to share is that our metabolic enzymes are so important for cell recovery and renewal. And so when we're so busy digesting food, we only have the ability to produce so many enzymes. And we have the ability to produce all the digestive enzymes that we need. But if we're so wrapped up in producing those digestive enzymes, then our body's probably not going to be as proficient as at producing those metabolic enzymes that are so needed for muscle recovery and for cell renewal.
And that's true, because I think my energy level kind of spiked a little bit. Like I wasn't as drained, like, you wake up in the morning, you feel great, and then you start to wind down. I felt like I was starting to like increase that energy level to a longer period of time. And then one of the other goals that I've been working on is that I just don't want to have that slump around 4 o'clock anymore. You know what I mean? And I've minimized some of that as well, but I've used other stuff for that. But I did notice the energy level was much better, and I think it's because I wasn't using all of my energy to break down this food, and it was actually the Terrazymes helping me do that. And as a mom and as an super active person, like from the minute I wake up, I'm like doing something with my brain, and I would get drained, you know what I mean? And I feel like since I added the Terrazymes, I definitely have improved in that area as well.
Thank you so much for sharing. I love that. Does anybody else have any questions about Terrazyme or the nutrition plan? Okay, perfect. Just a friendly reminder, doTERRA's PB Assist, which is the companion product to Terrazyme, is still 10% off this month. So a neat little kind of trick that I've learned is that I always get it on sale because I do the daily nutrient pack, which is I think $50. And then you can add up to 3 supplements for $20. So I do the daily nutrient pack, I do the Terrazyme, and then you can do the PB Assist and one other. I actually do the Terrazyme and then the Mito 2 Max, and then you can do the PB Assist as well with that. And it only comes up to get all those products, only comes up to like $119, which is a really great deal. So another quick reminder is anybody who enrolls this month will actually get a free Lifelong Vitality Pack, which is our whole supplement pack. So make sure when you're sharing and you enroll someone, you let them know that that is available to them if they place a loyalty rewards order in December. So with all of that, I'm going to actually say goodbye. I'm going to share my screen with you, and I'm going to show Carrie is on here, and she is going to do a quick little just like yoga tutorial for us. She shared this with me last night, and I did it with my kids before bed. I asked Carrie to share something that we could all benefit from at the end of the day after the craziness and the hustle of the holidays and just the busy lives that we have, something that can really ground us. So I'm going to share my screen with you. This is an amazing yoga pose that she's going to share or two. And I want to thank you guys all for hopping on today and just ask you to have an amazing, I know, thank you. I don't know who RG4 is. I want to make sure all of you guys get the nutrition plan if you want it. So you can email me at leah.walsh@gmail.com. I meant to post this, but I didn't. So if someone wants to type it in the chat, leah.walsh@gmail.com. Email me if you want the nutrition plan, and I'll make sure to send that to you, as well as a recap of the call. So with all of that, goodbye, everybody. Stay on the call for a couple more minutes, and then Carrie is going to close us out with a amazing yoga pose that she has for us. Okay, if you guys swipe to the right or left, if you're on your phone or computer, can you guys see my screen? Or do you still see me?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. So you see
You just gotta swipe all the way to the left. Well,
Okay.
not all the way. One before.
one before. Okay, perfect. Thank you guys. Okay, go ahead, Carrie.
Okay, so this pose is known as mountain pose, or can you guys hear me? Because I'm outside. There's a lot of traffic.
Yes.
I can hear
Okay.
you.
So this pose is known as mountain pose, or it's also known as Tadasana, and it has a lot of benefits. It looks like it's a very simple pose. It's actually a very active pose. When you're standing in this pose, you need to make sure that your legs are hip distance apart. You want to make sure that your feet are pressing down firmly and evenly through all four corners. And you want to make sure that you're engaging your thighs. Think about pulling your kneecaps up. You want to make sure that your core is engaged, pulling your belly button toward your spine. You want to relax your shoulders back and down. And you want to make sure that your chin is parallel to the ground. And here she's in prayer hands. You can keep that here at your heart center, pressing evenly. Or you can have them down at your side, facing palms out. This mudra actually has been shown to help balance your left and right brain, which is why I chose the picture with her in prayer hands, because we could all use a little extra balance. And this is a very powerful pose, and in my opinion, it is probably the most powerful pose in yoga, because it's been shown scientifically how you stand is how you feel. So if you're constantly hunkering and lowering forward, you're kind of shutting off the world. You're kind of saying, I'm defeated. When you stand up and you open your shoulders and you take up space, just standing like that for 2 minutes has such a psychological benefit on you, saying, I am here, I am strong. There's been studies where people have taken saliva samples after someone standing in a mountain pose for 2 minutes versus someone who's standing kind of retracted and taking up less space. And people who are standing up, open, taking up space in a power pose I can't remember exactly what they had more in their saliva, but it was a very significant difference. So this right here, especially with the holidays coming up, with the littles and all the obligations and whatever you're getting into, if you start to feel that it's a little too much, just stand in this pose, start your day like this for 2 minutes, and you will see and feel the benefits instantly. This pose is legs up the wall, as it says. It's also known as Vibrita Karanina, and basically you're putting your legs up a wall. This is a restorative pose. This is great to do at night right before you go to bed. It helps to calm the body. It helps to lower your heart rate because the feet are above your head. It's an inverted pose. And when you do this, you're actually having blood hit cardiac centers in your brain that electronically signals to your heart to slow down. Here she has her hands above the head. I personally would recommend one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. You could even close your eyes and put a weighted eye mask on. And you just want to sit like that for 5 minutes to 10 minutes and just be mindful of your breathing. In both poses, I recommend what we call even counts breath. You are taking equal breaths in, count in as you are out. That helps to, and you want to make sure that when you're doing this, that you're extending your belly fully. We call it deep belly breathing. When you inhale, you want to allow your belly to extend fully so that you can get the most oxygen in. And when you exhale, you want to make sure that you're letting your belly collapse and pulling your spine or your belly button to your spine. Just that alone allows you to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, and it actually calms your body down. It helps with it and its ability to handle stress.
I love it. Thank you so much for that, Carrie. Like I said, I did those. I did the legs at the wall with my kids before bed last night, and exactly how you described it. It was so relaxing. I remember Selah said, but what if we fall asleep? And it was just the sweetest.
You don't want to get up, and sometimes I'll actually put Serenity in the diffuser or lavender on the feet, or and read them stories like that before bedtime. So they'll lay like that to help calm them down. So when the stories are over, they're ready to sleep.
Perfect. I love it. Thank you so much for that, Carrie. And you guys have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks, Leah. Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
You too.
Thank you.